We need it, we need it, we need it. Oxygen. It's why we breathe.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Small Business Stories. Every week, you know the drill by now. We've done so many episodes. We bring you a new founder who may be new to you or maybe somebody you already know. But what we want to do is shine the light on all the wonderful things that they do. And this week, coming live from Marietta, Georgia, down by Atlanta, for those of you that needed a geography lesson like I did, we've got Laurie Genevish, and she is the founder of My Ideal College. Hey, Laurie, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. I've been excited, been looking forward to this.
Oh, excellent. We were doing a little chitter chatter beforehand. Everyone's melting. The entire, not just East Coast, but the USA is in a heat dome. And I'm looking at Laurie here. She's all fluffed and dressed for summery in a nice pastel shirt and sleeveless, just for the people that don't have the visual experience. They're doing the auditory only.
Oh, I love that.
Well, we want to make it equal opportunity, right? You want to give them the whole scene. And Laurie's got this lovely background, cute, bookshelves with some wonderful things and a powerful mantra there, paving the path, which speaks a lot to what you do. And before we get into all of that and what you do as a business, tell
Yeah.
us what you, Laurie, you personally are really freaking good at. What are you really good at doing, Laurie?
I'm a good I actually have my black belt in Taekwondo, so I could kick someone in the butt if needed.
Hey, there you go.
Um,
There's somebody you need to know. Okay.
I'm good at strategy and also communication. I love talking. Talking is not is not lost on me. And being able to, figure out how things go together. Like I love jigsaw puzzles, right? Because it all fits together somehow. It's just how do you piece it all together? So yeah, I love jigsaw puzzles.
Oh, and I love that analogy, representative of really what you do as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur. And I'm also curious, it begs the question, when you ask people, okay, when you get those holiday lights or those Christmas lights and they're all tangled, the
Yeah.
personality, right, of the person comes through, right? Do you rip them apart, you lose patience, or do you just methodically, light by light, undo them one at a time? And so I'll ask you that Christmas question about the Christmas
hmm
lights and then come back to the puzzle. So how do
Well,
you attack Christmas lights?
um, I do attack them. I try to figure it out, but I have I inherited my father's lack of patience. So if it's a big giant knot, I have to walk away and then figure it out. But if it's such a mess, I'm like, it's cheaper to just buy new lights than have to spend hours figuring this out.
See, there you go. I appreciate the honesty. Oh, we're going to have a good conversation. And then now back to that puzzle. What happens when you've made the entire puzzle, you've gone through it, oh, methodically, piece by piece, painfully, and then you're missing one? What's the reaction?
Oh, it's funny you say that because we just went on a family beach trip and we grabbed one of the puzzles in there and it was missing one piece.
It's the worst. It's just the worst.
Exactly, exactly. And it does feel unresolved. Like I want to like call the company and go, send me this piece. It has to fill, it has to, where's this piece?
Well, that's, I think, a lot of us that are on the path of entrepreneurship. We want to deliver perfection and quality to our clients. And if that
hmm
one piece is missing, it doesn't matter that we spent 3 weeks or more putting the rest of the puzzle together, assembling it all painstakingly, trying to find all the colors that freaking blur and none of the pieces really fit in. And then all of a sudden it does. And then there's
Yep.
one missing. You just feel, ah,
I know.
right, exhausted.
I know. It
What
is.
happened?
Yeah, you feel, I won't say completely defeated because you have all this pretty picture around it, but it's like, yeah, it's that one thing. Yeah.
It absolutely is. So early in our show, we like to give listeners a tip. So, with your background and your experience offering My Ideal College as your business,
Yeah.
helping the students figure it out with your new upcoming Teens Your Next Chapter program,
Hmm.
the 8-week program you were telling us
Right.
about, what tip do you want to offer either parents or teens who may be listening to this about planning their next steps post secondary education?
Eh, that no one person has the right, no one has the same path. It is very unique and individual to everyone. So don't compare yourself to others. Um, and as parents, I know it because we want to fix things and we do. And sometimes even as parents, we have comparisons, right? And it's really uh, thinking about what's right for them. Is college the right fit? Or maybe is it a trade school? Or, just explore different options. Don't be set on one option if you're unsure. I mean, there are some people that they find that they know exactly what they're going to do, and it is the right thing. But explore opportunities and don't wait till last minute. Oh my goodness. I mean, people tell me that, oh, you work with like juniors and seniors. And it's like, absolutely. But honestly, I like to get them in freshman year of high school because that way you can really take time to plan. Because it's nothing like when we went to school. It's so much more complicated.
It is. I watched my stepchildren, so I tell people I'm a step monster. This is what I am. And reminding them all the time, I am just that evil that I am the step monster. Yes. And just watching them go through that whole process, and then they do the comparisons. You have X% chance of getting into these colleges, X% chances of scholarships here, this, that, all of this sort of stuff. Here's a potential strategy. Do 2 years here, then consider like to save money if you're doing like it's unbelievable the amount of
Oh yeah.
complexity.
I know when people ask me questions, I mean, half the time I'm like, I hate to say it, but it depends. It depends where you want to go. That's why you really have to think about it because some schools play more emphasis on dual enrollment, some place more emphasis on AP, some play it's just I mean, the great news is there are a lot of options. The bad news is there's a lot of options.
Bingo, bingo. Well, let's parlay this and this whole thing of having to be planful years in advance so that you can pick your path, hedge your bets, right? Make sure you've got the volunteer hours or this or that or whatever's going to be needed so that by the time you do apply, you're
Right.
ready. It doesn't look like you cobbled things together in the last 30 days before the application was due, right? Because they can
Hmm.
snuff that out.
Hmm.
Talk to us about how the tip you've just given parents and high school teens
Yeah.
about this planning parlays into what you do as an entrepreneur with your My Ideal College business.
Yeah, I mean, as a business owner, we got to plan, right? We have to, well, it's better to plan, like at least even the next quarter, that's what I do. Like, what do I want to do in Q3? What do I want to do in Q4? Um, Also, it's about not worrying about being perfect either, which I see in kids and I see in entrepreneurship, right? Well, I can't go because I'm not sure if that's the right thing to do. Sometimes you just got to take a leap. You want to use some educational guesses based on things, but sometimes you can spend so much time worrying that you fail to launch. And someone actually, some entrepreneur told me a while back ago, you can't perfect anything if you haven't done it, if you haven't launched it yet.
It's true because then you're not getting all of the feedback and they say, oh, okay, do a pilot test, do a this, do a that. But then I've seen it and I've done it where you get into the analysis paralysis, nothing
Yeah,
happens. You're aiming for that 99.99999. It's not going to happen. In fact, I've completely flipped the script on all that. I'm
yeah,
like, yeah, never mind even 80/20, 70/30. Yeah, we're there. Let's go. Let's try it out. Let's see what happens. Right. Because
yeah,
you've got to be prepared to adapt as an
right.
entrepreneur. Oh, this worked, or you thought it was going to work. Because I've even seen it. I'm sure that you have,
Yeah.
or I'm going
Oh,
to
yeah.
ask if you have. You've been planful, you did this, you did that, you prepared, and then you put it out there. All the signs are like, yes, this should work. And then it
Yeah.
doesn't. What do you do?
Exactly. Yeah. You go, okay, why didn't it work? What would you have done differently? Like, okay, this didn't work, but maybe if I tweak it this way. And I think as entrepreneurs, we need to be open to always learning, and think about what skills will you need to help you get, like, building an online course, right? Okay, what are all the different skills I need for that? A teen who wants a career in XYZ, what skills am I going to need to learn and where am I going to get the education to get that? So, always thinking forward about where you want yourself to be and where are you either as an entrepreneur maybe going to have to hire someone to help you learn those skills, or how are you going to learn them yourself, and so on.
What I want to dive into a little bit is the difference between that continuous learning and how you need to be curious as an entrepreneur
Hmm.
versus filtering out the noise. Because I've been over the years bombarded by just like a cacophony, right, of noise. Oh, it's
Yeah.
this, do this, do this. No, Laurelyn, don't do this. Yeah, yeah. No, Laurelyn. Yeah. Oh, read this. Oh my God, they did this. No, no, they didn't do that. No, they said no, don't do it. Yes, they said do it. Yeah. And you just think, oh my goodness, I'm going to lose my mind. It's so much noise. Do
Yeah.
you feel that there's a difference between continuous learning and being selective about what gaps that you're trying to fill your knowledge in versus advice? Talk to us about that kind of conundrum.
Oh yeah, and I myself as an entrepreneur spent lots of money on courses and things and trying different things. So, yeah, and I've just learned that's where I think goal setting comes into play for me. Like, what are my goals for this year? And if because I do like pretty bird syndrome. Oh, maybe I should do this. And then it's like, okay, let's think about it. Is this going to derail you from a big goal you have? Is it the right thing? Is the time invested and money invested worth what you might get? So you have to be very analytical as a business owner, or even have someone, a friend, a coach, or somebody to help talk through it with you. So you don't, because I have friends who are entrepreneurs and they are continuously tweaking their website, continuously doing this, continuously doing that, and they're not getting the sales to, yeah, that they
Yeah, it
need.
just it never ends. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I look at that. I've created different courses in adaptive leadership and this kind of thing, built an e-learning platform focused on soft skills to help youth. And people went, we don't
Yeah.
need no stinking soft skills. Yet 10 million studies out there showed, wow, the gap, soft
I
skills,
know.
Gen Z, right? They need it. So I get it. That's what you just said really resonates with me. That you're constantly tweaking, you're trying this, you're trying that. It's difficult because you're always running. You don't ever got to go, it's done. It's
Yep.
never done.
Yep. Plus, our audience is getting the noise too, right? So how do you weed yourself from all that? And if I had all the answers to that, I would tell you, but I'm also looking for that as well.
But that's just it, right? If you had all of the answers, you and I probably wouldn't be on this podcast today.
Yeah.
You'd be sitting wherever your happy place is going, yes, right. I'm not going to do no stinking podcast today. I don't need to. I'm getting passive income rolling in 30,000 a month and I don't even blink. Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
What do you think when you see all of these ads and memes on Instagram? Just like I said, click here and we guarantee that you'll get 10,000 new followers within 30 days, or click here, buy this book. This is the method.
Yeah.
Guaranteed you'll be making sales in your sleep. I mean, what do you think of all that noise?
I gotta admit, there's a part of me that, and like, nope, nope, you got a pile of books at home you haven't read yet. Read that, so I do stop myself. It's like, don't pick up another thing until you do, and I just really staying focused on my goals, because that's where I've gotten success. When I don't veer off, when I stick to what I think and I know is right, and consistent in that, do that right first and then find that next thing.
Gotcha. What do you say to the folks who have a hard time with goals? Oh, I can't set goals. I can't set metrics. I don't want to track anything. I can't do this.
Um, you're really doing yourself a disservice. You've got to. Otherwise, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing what you're doing then? Right? Is what are the consequences of not setting goals? Are you making your millions? Are you dedicated? Are you this? Um, I really encourage you, and I agree. It can seem overwhelming, and that's why I've hired business coaches in the past because I need someone to help me. Because I can I can help other people organize things, but when I try to do it myself, I can overcomplicate things. So I need someone to give me the step by step by step to do it. And also, I have people as accountability partners too. I think that's also helpful. Even if there's tasks that I'm just dreading to do, I have my group of three friends, and I'm like, if I don't text you by 5 p.m. that I've done this, get on my butt. And for me, it works. They never have to call me on it. So you gotta. I would if your like goals are too complicated, then I would say, are you but are you reaching your potential? You know, if you are, great. If you can somehow reach all your potential goals, but yeah.
No, I agree. And I'm not going to ask you anything to make you uncomfortable in this, but
Yeah.
what I've realized over the years is that, you talked about, oh, pretty bird syndrome. I call it bright, shiny new object,
Yes.
syndrome, or it's like squirrel, right? Like the
Yeah.
ADHD in me is just like,
Hmm.
would I really like that? And then I'm, running 100 miles an hour to get
Yeah.
there because I love that thing. And then, but that's shinier, that has pretty glitter. I'm going to go
Yeah.
this way, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
bored with this. And I think it's difficult
Yeah.
to be an entrepreneur with ADHD, but at the same time, all of the studies I've seen show at least one third are diagnosed with ADHD, but over half self-diagnose with ADHD. This is why many of us that are entrepreneurs don't fit into corporate or more traditional paths because we do want to explore things. We're curious, we're interested in doing something else. Do you have
Right.
thoughts or comments on this thread?
I do. Actually, my oldest was diagnosed with ADHD many years ago. And I remember the psychiatrist saying that either myself or his dad probably have it. And I was like, I wonder if I do. Um, and I never got tested for it just because I get so distracted. But I apologize. What were my thought? My
Just
my.
general, your reaction to this, that a lot of entrepreneurs are self-diagnosed with ADHD. It's difficult to
Mhm.
stay on track and with the goals and have those metrics. And I'm just saying, how do we bring that all together, especially knowing that teenager who hasn't even really had a chance to explore and live within the world, how do they get focused? Should I do this? Should I do that? I think it
Right,
all comes together in some of that and just having those guardrails that you need to get you on the path, which I know is what you do in your business for My
right,
Ideal College for your
right,
student clients.
right. I think it could be. I mean, because also, you're more creative. You try more things because you do now. You want to also be able to finish things as well, right? Versus continuing start. So I think that's a balance. But I've always I was in corporate learning development for many years, and I think even then I was had an entrepreneur in me. Like my first job, I was a branch trainer at Kinko's. And I actually it was at regional for the Southeast region. And I created a training program. I saw something we could do, and I got promoted to the corporate office to launch it. I went to a company where their learning development program was so broken, I got to redo it the way I want. I went to another company where I was the first. So I think I've never had to go in a situation where I really had to follow the rules. I got to make the rules, which is, to me, is part of entrepreneurship.
Oh, it is. And I've had a few opportunities like that where people have called it intrapreneurial opportunities
Hmm.
where you can work for a company, but maybe you're on a skunkworks project or something that's different. And so you still have to adhere to the general corporate policies, the ethics, this, that, nothing nefarious, of course, and all that sort of good stuff. Don't compromise the brand, blah, blah.
Right.
But you get that little latitude that I certainly needed because I didn't fit in corporate, even though I was in many corporate roles, just square peg, round hole.
Yeah. Yeah. And I started doing entrepreneurship many years ago. And at one point I thought about going back and I was like, I can't. I just can't to have to, I like the freedom that it gives me.
What do you think is the thing that you were least prepared for on this journey of entrepreneurship?
Uh, that's a good question. Uh, Sales and marketing. I can create programs and the coaching programs and all that, but really figuring out how to get the sales, is where I've had to get a lot of coaching on. And it's work, but yeah, that's the lead. It's not they will build it and they will suddenly come. There's a lot of hard work that goes behind it.
That's just it. And as we were talking about, people think, oh, here it is. It's the bright, shiny new thing, and it's the cute little Instagram square or whatever else
Yeah.
it is. But meanwhile, the toiling that's gone in behind the scenes, everything from, oh, what should we name it? When should we launch it? Should we do this? What about this? Right. And we're just, I know I've done it, get wrapped around the axle behind it. And then several occasions by the time I finally said, oh, okay, I'm ready to commit to it. I'm like, I'm bored with this. But this thing looks so I'm going to, right? And then all
Yeah.
that you've done is abandoned. It's crazy.
Well, and years ago they made it sound like, oh, just put a Facebook ad and you'll bring in the
Right.
money. Not at all.
Let's talk about that because I'm really glad that you're candid in this way because I've had a lot of folks on here on the show and it's like, yeah, yo, bros, Lambos, woohoo, I'm killing it, I'm fabulous. And then you look and you find out you look on Duns and Bradstreet or this or that, or you found some information or off camera, they'll
Hmm.
talk to you and go, yeah, I'm not really making the sales I thought I would.
Yeah.
And I think, well, two things. One, and I want to see your reaction to this.
Okay.
One, I think the game has changed because the global marketplace is so freaking massive now with 8.5 billion people on the planet and just about everybody an entrepreneur or freelancer, small business owner. It's very
Yeah.
hard to just stick your shingle out on social media and like woohoo be found. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, I also think that because of the heightened visibility in this social media world, we've all got to just like pretend like, yeah, look at me. I'm thin. I'm this. I'm that. I'm fabulous. I'm like, oh, look at my product. It's amazing. I sell 1 million a day and I don't even do anything. I just go to sleep, right? I go work
Yeah.
out. So react to this for me. What are these, I guess, sort of urban myths, if you will, about entrepreneurship?
Yeah, and more people and teens I'm seeing as well want to be entrepreneurs. They want that freedom, the lifestyle. And, I'll talk to them about it. It's not just creating some ads and suddenly or being a YouTube influencer, an Instagram influencer, that there's a lot of hard work you don't see that goes behind it. And just as a side note, I do with teens that are entrepreneurs, I dive deep into what they need to be an entrepreneur. So they really understand that it's not just get a mic and a video and do some videos and suddenly you'll make money. Um, but yeah, like you said, I know some entrepreneurs and on the outside, they're dressed great. They look like they're making millions in sales and some of them are barely have enough money to pay their light bill.
Yeah.
Um, and so it's you can't be fooled. You got that's why you have to do what's right for you and your business and just, and that's why you need to think about what you want so you're not constantly chasing after the next person that sold you on things.
Oh, bingo, bingo. Well said. That should be the quote that we have for this podcast, right? Don't keep chasing the next person who's going to sell you the secret, right, to making $1 million a week in passive income. Because
Right.
it's like those people are making money feeding into other people's FOMO, fear of
Yep.
missing out and aspirations, and
Yep.
not really, from what I've seen, I've spent on several too,
Right.
delivering on their brand promise, which is
Mhm.
click here and we will make you whatever, right?
Yep.
As a result of me going through, several of those programs and watching many of my female founder friends just get sucked down the rabbit hole and spending tens of thousands of dollars
Yep.
to not get there anyway,
Yep.
I use a pretty high level of cynicism when it comes to that now. And even in what I promise and my brand promise to deliver to my small business owners, I've really toned it back. No, we're not going to make you super visible with like a
Right.
million followers overnight. Hey, there's some hard work. We're going to knock some of the things out that get you on a better path than where you are now. Not that we
Yep.
don't guarantee, we do guarantee it, but
Yeah.
there's a process to it. And
Yep.
so I wish more entrepreneurs, A, would be honest about the reality of the experience of the journey, and that B,
Right.
that they wouldn't, you know, overpromise and underdeliver.
Yeah, well, and that's what I mean. I don't know about you, but on LinkedIn, I at least twice a week I get, they see I have career coach and they're like, we can get you leads and all that. And I'm like, you just saw career coach. You did not see who I do career coach. Like there's no freaking way, and I just said delete. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. All those DMs that
And
come
plus
in.
build a relationship with me. Yeah.
Well, and that's what we try to do with this podcast. So people get to know people a little bit better, get to know the person behind the brand, get to
Yeah.
know just a little bit about what each of us stands for, right? How we go about things. I think it's important. I think it's the only way to stand out and be differentiated from the millions of others and
Right.
from the AI that's out there. This is who we are. We're humans. And if you like me, great, we can work together. If you don't, okay, you'll find someone that you do.
Yeah. 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 And it's funny. I mean, and I get it. I mean, when you're first starting a business, and I was this way, it's like, oh my God, I got to get the sale. I got to get the sale. I got to get the sale. And I took on clients I never should have taken on. You know, uh, another bit of advice someone gave me a long time ago, if you have to drag them in, you're going to be dragging them the whole time. And so, yeah. So I trust that I bring on the ones that I know I can truly help. The ones I can't, if I know people, I will suggest them. But yeah, it's not worth it. If
No.
you fill your space with all these wrong things, you're not gonna have enough space for the things that are right for you.
Oh, that's so well said, Laura. I love it. I love it. All right. As we're getting close to the end of our podcast here, talk
Yeah.
to us about first My Ideal College. Talk to us about what you do, your upcoming program,
Yeah.
teens, My Next Chapter.
Yeah.
Talk to us about some of this so we get a sense for, now that we've known who you are a little bit
Right.
better,
Yeah.
about your business.
So, My Ideal College, we are a full service career and educational consulting firm for the teens, college students, and the occasional mid 20-year-old who's still trying to figure out what they want to do in life. Because I was that one. And so, our signature program, what I started the business with, is career coaching. And so I have your teens next chapter because I'm a firm believer. You got to begin with the end in mind, right? It's like because we're so like you go to elementary school, you go to middle school, you go to high school, like you're told, and then it's like, oh, and then you get to pick whatever you want. But we haven't been taught how do we pick whatever we want. And so I have an 8-week program where there's like a video and a workbook, and every week we go through steps to help teens figure out what is that right path for them. I talk to them about, how do you envision your life in your 20s? What kind of values do you have? What kind of lifestyle do you want? Where do you want to live? And then I use a career assessment, the Harrison Work Preferences Questionnaire, and a career assessment changed my life. That's how I found learning development was a good path for me. And I'm like, why wouldn't you take, like, if you don't know what you can't do, why wouldn't you take a good career assessment to help narrow that noise in your head? So then we talk about career development. We talk about what your greatest strengths are as an individual. How do you apply them to college essays or job interviews? We look at what careers fit you, not only from what the assessment says, but job outlook, salary, education, all those factors. I teach about informational interviews, how to have them, how to find people, how to build your online presence and resume, and then a game plan. So the end goal is that the teens walk away with a future that they feel excited about. But I also want to preface, because and rightly so, parents say, how could a teen possibly figure out their career? Well, with a good career assessment, you can. And also, it's not the rest of your life, right? It's just the financial and time investment you're going to make after high school. Let's make sure it's going to something that you at least halfway know what you're going to like versus pinging, pawning, from different majors and racking up that debt. And of course, I have essay writers and we help college applications and all that. But if you really are just overwhelmed and not sure what you want to do, I really suggest starting with the Next Chapter program.
Where can people find you?
My website is myidealcollege.org. It is .org. So myidealcollege.org is where they can find me. You can also email me at Laurie@myidealcollege.org as well.
Excellent. So just as we're getting into like to wrap up here, so
Yeah.
talk to us a little bit as far as final and parting thoughts that you want to share with other entrepreneurs who have been listening to our podcast and made it through to the end here.
Um, uh, keep developing yourself. Go out there, try things. Don't feel defeated if something doesn't work the first time. Figure out what worked, what didn't work. How could you tweak it? And entrepreneurship can be very lonely. Find a group of fellow entrepreneurs, find that community that can help lift you up and help keep you going.
Oh, bingo, bingo. That's what we're really trying to build here is that community. I don't have the interactive bit of it yet where people can start sharing ideas, but I'm trying to build that through all these wonderful guests like yourself, Laurie.
Yeah.
And last question that we get into, it is our signature question of my podcast. And again, for the benefit of all the people who are listening but not viewing, right? If we
Yep.
got a sneak peek into your closet and there was something in there, be it a pair of footwear, maybe sandals, boots, something, some shirts, some style, some accessory, something that speaks to who Laurie Genevish is. What are we looking at and why is that your signature style or bit or thing? Why does it represent your personality?
Oh, I would say there's not one piece, but if you go, you'll see a rainbow of colors. And it's a variety is the spice of life. I love adventure. I love different things. So I think that would explain who I am is I like trying different things and why you see the different rainbow.
Excellent. So, with that, folks, this is Small Business Stories, and we've been listening to some wonderful wisdom and candid comments from Laurie Genevish, who is the founder of myidealcollege.org. Thank you, Laurie, for being on our show.
Thank you.
And how about that fantastic intro by Touch Circle?